For this problem, we're going to take a look at the antiderivative of arc cosine of x. This one we're going to do by integration by parts. And so let me get that set up for us in integral of arc cosine of x dx. And the way that we're going to do this is we're going to let u be equal to arc cosine of x. We remember the acronym ILATE. And here we see an inverse function, and so that is my candidate for what u should be, just working down the list. So I see an inverse function, and so that'll be the candidate that I choose for my u. Okay, so dv will be what's left, and dv is simply dx. Okay, now doing the antiderivatives, we see that du is equal to negative 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared dx. That's the derivative of our cosine. And then the antiderivative of dx would just simply be x by itself. And so we have that this integral is equal to the integral of, and I'm doing the color coding here to help out the visual u dv. And so according to the formula, this is going to be equal to u times v minus the integral of v du. And so I'll now do the substitution. So u is equal to arc cosine of x times v, which is x, so these two, minus the integral of v du, so x times negative 1 over square root of 1 minus x squared dx. Okay, so I've traded one integral for another, and hopefully this other integral is easier to deal with. Okay, so we have x times the arc cosine of x plus the antiderivative of x times square root of 1 minus x squared dx. And this next integral we can get by a substitution. So I'm going to use a different letter besides u. It's okay to use the u over again. The u is only a dummy letter, but just to prevent confusion, I'll use a different letter. So let's let t be equal to 1 minus x squared, so that dt is equal to negative 2x dx. And I see that I've got that almost perfectly in the numerator, except for the factor of negative 2. So this is equal to x times the arc cosine of x. That just carries along for the ride. Then minus 1/2 integral, and then I multiply by negative 2 on top and keep the denominator the same. Okay, then I run this substitution, so I get x times the arc cosine of x minus 1/2 times the integral of the top is dt over the square root of t. Okay, so that is now a straightforward integral to calculate. We get negative 1/2 times t, 2 times the square root of t plus c. So I divide by 1/2 and then raise this to the 1/2 power. Okay, and finally the 2's cancel, then I substitute back, and so I get that x times the arc cosine of x minus the square root of 1 minus x squared plus c. And so that is the antiderivative of arc cosine of x after doing these steps. And this can always be checked by differentiating. Before I go, I wanted to say again, I use t here instead of u just for the sake of not using the same letter twice. However, it's perfectly okay to recycle the letter u here if you so wish. So there's no problem using u equals 1 minus x squared when doing this solution.